How's it going, Old School Runescape? I'll be replacing Mod Ronan today, and let's get this started. So, introductions, we have Mod Matt K.
Yo.
Mod Reach.
Yep.
Professor Audenstein. Mod Ash.
Hello.
Mod John C. And myself, Mod Archie. Alright, so first question is actually for me. What's your position at Jagex? I answered this last time, but I don't know, some of you guys might not might. Wow, I'm really nervous. This is a lot of pressure. Might not know me, so I'm the video journalist, video presenter for Old School, working on the YouTube channel as well as Twitch, setting up all that stuff, community coordinator, all that fun stuff. There's a whole bunch of side jobs, but that's pretty much it. So, yeah, next question. When can we see the DDoS attacks sorted?
DDoS attacks.
Biggest question.
There have been attacks on our network. We are working on it now. We have had some new kits go into the London data centre last week before, and that seems to be working quite nicely. We're rolling it out across the other data centres, and when that happens, we'll let you know, and then hopefully things will get much better. But until then, you can still email us. There's a tip-off at Jagex email account. You can email any information you've got about people doing this, and we can investigate it from there. So do send that in to us, and we will take it on. Thank you.
All right, next question. I'm going to start saying the names, actually. At Tovergasje asks, what's the latest news on the loot share system?
There isn't any.
Well, we have the engine support required to do it, and when we're not so bogged down with other big projects, hopefully we will have the chance to do it.
Right.
Since we don't have GE prices to guide the loot potential, of course, we'd have to do the best we can with alchemy values, etc. But I think from the point of view of loot share, it'll probably work out close enough in the end.
It's also worth mentioning that Mod Ghost, Gareth, is modelling something behind us.
All right.
And this is the first I've heard of it. So I'm assuming someone knows what's going on.
Can you see what it is yet?
It
Can't
looks
see much of anything, to be honest.
a little bit sneaky.
It does. And I think what the plan is that Gareth wants to get a bit of feedback on the new Snake Boss. So he's going to be creating it for you. So if you've got comments, please do shout them out, and we'll get them to Gareth. I'm sure Gareth will be talking about it in a bit as well. So that's already quite cool.
Yeah. All right, next question. This is from My Name is Edgar, and he asks, can we have a 1 to 5 player Iron Man mode? The original from scratch was with 3 people. It'd be nice to play Iron Man with friends.
Oh, I don't understand.
I think they're just talking about being able to interact with just a few friends, so you would be allowed to trade just that group of people, more of a group effort.
So you stand alone, but with 2 others.
So
Yeah.
group
Actually,
Iron Man mode, for want of a better phrase, isn't it?
Right.
If it was terrifically popular, we could do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
Nothing really wrong between trading between Iron Men to begin with anyway, to be fair. I mean, Iron Men still have to adhere to the standard restrictions that the game has on them, so there's no reason why Iron Men can't, in another sense, trade with other Iron Men.
There could be an Iron Man clan.
Yeah.
Just help each other out. Yeah.
Yeah, we could come up with another mode, multi-Iron Man or something.
Interesting idea.
Multi-Iron Man.
All right.
John's man.
Next one's from Strawpool, and he asks, along with the Bounty Hunter high scores, could there be a PVM high scores now that we have the boss kill counter?
There can be. I mean, the issue we've got with high scores is website needs to make that happen. The web team does, and that's something which their time's used on an awful lot of other things at the moment, so it's not always that easy. We'd like to do a whole load of different high scores, wouldn't we? Not just PVM, but pretty much anything we can measure, we would like to tell you about. I think we probably need to sort of address that a bit more permanently at some point, to distant future, I think, don't you?
Here's hoping. You never know what they created for the Iron Man high scores might turn out to be reusable in some way for us.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Because there's a lot of metrics we've been tracking, including the stuff you've been tracking that even I don't know about.
Yeah.
So we can stick high score table up and find out what it is.
And we'll start tracking some other things that were not already as well.
Yep.
Yep.
I think it makes sense to have some sort of, again, this might be sort of pie in the sky thinking, but some sort of automatically updatable website where when we start tracking the new information, we can just drop it into the website and it'll update it automatically. Some new things will appear each time, and there we won't need web team quite so much.
Well, frankly, I think it might almost be meant to do that for RS3. So that's what we aim for. Saber safeguard.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. Next one's from Says Mazu. He asks, this question's for Mod Ash. Is it possible to add some rewards to the games room to make it more popular?
The difficulty with the games room is that you can so easily, choose who you're playing against, and there's not very many other people there to get in the way. And if you just have your friend lose a lot, then share the rewards with him afterwards in whatever way. It's a little bit too easy to farm.
Yeah.
That's partly why it uses that ranking system if you're in challenged mode, where as people have much lower scores than you, defeating them doesn't actually get you very much. So if that were somehow tied to rewards, it could potentially work, but we couldn't produce anything particularly valuable there because it would just be, well, ultimately too farmable.
Yeah, that'd be difficult. Right, next question. This is from RSN Maka, and he asks, is AHK a bannable offense? This has been addressed before.
AHK, that's auto hotkeys, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went and spoke to the anti-bot team, not just Weave, but the entire team, to get some sort of definite clarification on mouse keys and everything. And the advice is that if you try to automate any process, you stand the likelihood of getting banned for botting. That's any process. The only thing you can really do is use normal mouse keys from Windows. Anything that duplicates that, you stand the risk of getting banned. Any automation of that, you stand the risk of getting banned. So basically, mouse keys on Windows or nothing else, and then you're safe, effectively.
Okay. Again from Says Gamazu, and he asks, could you add an undo teleblock spell, which would unteleblock you if you were teleblocked?
Yes, we could, but I don't see that being terribly popular.
You get to, is it 85 magic to get the teleblock?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then to know that somebody else with, unless it's really 99 magic spell maybe.
Yeah, you
Maybe
have
it
to
doesn't
work out.
work all the time.
You have to work out a timer, because someone could just teleblock you, then you unteleblock, then they re-teleblock you, and it's just a back and forth game.
Constant thing, yeah.
Interesting idea. Yeah, all right. Next one. Evil Wigster asks, any possibility of a dragon impling pet as a super rare drop could visually be different to ensure minimal trolling?
Yes, it would need to be.
Yeah, I'd like that. Do it for all implings, actually, rather than just dragon.
That menagerie is going to get pretty full if we do it the same way.
That's true, actually. Maybe just dragon then, but yeah, like a 1 in a billion chance if you open a dragon impling jar.
Billion.
Billion, yeah.
You'll find a dragon impling in it.
Actually, we'd have to make it on the catch because you can buy the jars. So, but yeah, we could do that.
Cool. All right. Daily Poetin asks, can the God Wars dungeons bosses drop special shards that can be used on the Rune God armor to make them actually useful?
Ooh.
So like the...
I suppose the big question there is, what would it do to them to make them useful? I suppose that's sort of the key thing. If we up the stats, then does that replace something that already exists? Or does it give them a special defense type thing?
Maybe a prayer bonus?
Yeah, could well be, yeah, that way.
If we go down the route of prayer rather than combat stats, then we don't run into the other armour quite so easily.
Yeah.
I think Iron Keithers has got the right idea there.
Mod Mac K-Pet or Riot.
Yeah.
What would a Mod Mac K-Pet do?
Waffle.
Waffle.
Tell really, really, really bad jokes.
Well, at least we know what colour to make the trousers.
Yes, have to wear red trousers. Cost me £1, these trousers do.
Judging by your
£1.
recent tweets, I'm guessing it would give you some kind of construction bonus.
No, you haven't seen me actually. You don't see how good my painting is. It's not that good.
Right. Next question. OSRS Daniel asks, when you type messages fast after each other, sometimes the first message doesn't appear in the chat box. Can this be fixed?
It depends where you're standing. We've got a limit on how many lines you can say in X amount of time to prevent spam.
Okay.
If it lets us know where it is, we can look at possibly changing it, but if it's somewhere like Varrock, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the reason there's a
it's not
spam filter in Varrock is because obviously that's where everyone trades and everyone spams to their trade offers. And we put in the auto typer, so you could, if you didn't want to see them, be able to filter them all out. Then we increased the normal spam filter so that you could actually type less in there to discourage people from using other auto typers. It seemed to work quite well as well, the auto typer, hasn't it?
Certainly the extra throttling around Varrock and other high-profile areas was something that other RuneScape did not long after 2007.
But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, get in touch, let us know where it's happening. I think bug report would be quite a good thing to John, and then John can have a look at it and take from there. There's a thread in the forums with the bug report stuff in the general forum, so post it straight into that forum and John will pick it up.
It's called Report Bugs Here.
Yes, which is what you do to report bugs there, which is why we called it that.
All right. Solved. Next question, again from OSRS Daniel. He asks, Could the back of Veros West Bank be opened to allow easier access to the agility shortcuts?
If you want a shortcut, the shortcut.
So yeah, that is a shortcut to the shortcut, which came up last week for somebody wanting
That
to
was for
cut
Lumbridge
through
instead.
Lumbridge. Yeah.
And we're doing it.
Do this one as well, then, I suppose.
I think initially when I was making that shortcut to the spirit tree, I was considering breaking open the back of that
Yeah, we
bank.
actually
so people
had quite a
could
long
walk through it.
conversation about doing it.
Yeah.
Can we have a paper wall? And people could just run through the paper wall.
It sort of defeats the object of a wall.
we might as well have
That'd be great,
nothing.
wouldn't it? You just see sort of an outline of
Sort of oriented
It's like a
bank
sort
sheet. Yes, we can. We were considering doing it the first time around. I did do it the first time around, only I put it back and then made you run round the actual shortcut. Only because the, I guess the sort of
It was a-
outline of the bank didn't really line up properly, and it would have to resize the bank a little bit because it wouldn't be central. You'd be next to a wall like a bank booth or something. So
I think what we went with in the end was that we also didn't offer opening up the bank in that poll question. It was just to add the shortcut.
I don't actually think that was what stopped me doing it. I think we were
It maybe would have been otherwise.
but it can be done.
Just make it a nice, expensive, like Alcred Gate, but like 10k to pass, just because you're that lazy.
And lots of dialogue to make it quicker to run around or something.
Yeah. So next one's the big controversial one from Matt. Elijah Tank asks, could we have a full explanation on the new player harassment rule, aka ragging?
Now, there is no new rule at all. What we've done is I put a big post on Reddit about this, and I don't know if you guys can find it anywhere, but if they can, I'll try and link it to the in the thread, but in the chat. Effectively, there's a group of people who've been going around, and they spent their last few months, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, just annoying other players. And we want them to stop because it ain't great. You go out there, you try and fight somebody, you just get this guy trying to get you killed, and not doing it for any particular reason other than to upset people. And we want to get rid of it. Simple as that. And we've got a rule that says no inappropriate behaviour. This clearly is because it's upsetting an awful lot of people, and we will do that. We have spoken to the people who are doing it know not to do it, but they keep doing it, and we will keep going through a process until they stop. And that's it. It won't affect 99.999% of you. Because you're not doing it, you're just feeling the effects of it, and we will deal with it, and we'll get rid of them.
And if it is happening to you, feel free to report them, and it'll get looked into.
Yeah.
If it's that big of an issue, I could actually take it upon myself to have people send in almost clips of it, and I can start going through and seeing video evidence. It's about as solid as it gets.
And when we've got video evidence, we've also got back-end evidence as well. Everybody, we've taken the action again. We've qualified everything through the back end. We've got chat logs for everybody so we can see exactly what they're saying, why they're doing it. We've got logs which tell us exactly what they're doing so we can see where they are, when they're doing it, who's there. So nothing's done without full checking, and it's the same group of people just doing it to annoy you. And we don't like that, you don't like that, so we can stop it.
Okay, next question. RS Gauze asks, does the OSRS engine support particle effects?
Does not.
No.
No, not currently.
Quick answer.
Could it?
Any more now?
Oh, was that part of the question as well?
That's the whole question.
Okay.
I mean, I can certainly look into it. I haven't actually looked at the RS3 particle system, so I don't know how big of a job it is, but I can certainly look into it.
Yeah. With a lot of things where it's graphical improvements, there's the benefit from having it look nicer against the cost of what it does to the frame rate. That's usually where the decision ends up getting made.
Yeah. I feel like anything like that would get pulled anyways, and people might just say, oh, it looks like EOC now, so.
Yeah, I think that's one of the concerns as well. I mean, the players want the game to look the way it is.
Right.
I think if we do poll it, we'll have to come up with some way of figuring out how it is going to impact frame rate, so we can sort of talk to you about it beforehand. And we say, we think if we put pixel support in there, it's going to decrease your frame rate by 10%. Same we've been talking recently. That's just a guess. It might not be. I don't know.
I mean, it might not be terrible from a performance point of view, because if you look at some of the existing models in Old School, effectively graphics artists have had to model particles out of polygons. If you've got a fire, it's got tiny little bits of flame coming off the top, and each of those is a little tiny tetrahedron. And actually, it's probably going to be more efficient to do that as an actual proper particle. Yeah. Also, it's generally quite popular with the graphics artists if they don't have to model individual particles of soot coming off the fire.
Well, what does Gareth think? Gareth, would you like particle models?
It would be nice to have them, but it's up to players really. If they find that a bit too RS3, then we'd have to leave it, obviously. But yeah, if there's enough requests for it, then sure, why not look into it? That's what I say.
Good answer.
Could we get a straw poll of that, James?
But yeah, I mean, that's, I suppose, we were looking as well at increasing the not pixel thingy, the polygon count for models as well. So again, that's the same question: is if that goes up, does that make the performance worse? And I think if we poll that, we need to sort of come to you with these are the two. This is the balancing act. If you have this, you're going to lose this. Hopefully, it'll be nothing, but we don't know until we look.
Funny thing is that the monsters for which Gareth was asking about the poly count were likely to be big bosses, and that's one of the best situations to not have a effective performance.
Absolutely.
All right, next question. This is from Anthony Ward 10, who asked a dozen questions, so thanks for the contributions. He says, would it be possible for a cannon upgrade to maybe a ballista following a quest?
It depends what he wants it to do. If it's to increase damage, then yeah, it's going to be one of those contentious ones that may or may not pass a poll. If it's just like something cosmetic, then sure. But the quest is generally where we have to draw a line.
Isn't a ballista a catapult?
It is, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was. So we downgrade.
They're non-mechanical, but yeah.
So you'd have to use it manually and it only fires in one direction.
Yes.
Something. Yeah, all right. Anyways, next one. Again, Anthony Ward asking for the reintroduction of Conquest mode, but make it more difficult to gain Zeal with pest control.
What's the Conquest minigame?
Oh, God. It was basically like it was basically chess, but not chess.
Have you seen the gestures Jay's making over there?
Jay
Keep
is
doing that.
finally saying no. To be fair, I hated Conquest. Developer who wrote it was incredibly talented, and it was actually a good quest series, but I hated Conquest and everything about it and everything to do with it. So personally, my bias is saying no. However,
True that.
however,
I could have kind of guessed that one. Yeah.
but a Conquest system. Is it the Conquest winning game they actually want?
Or is it just the rewards?
Was it just the rewards? Yeah,
Where am
because
I?
the rewards are very popular.
It's
the
just
minigame
Conquest
wasn't.
mode, yeah, it's just the system.
Just the system.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise people actually played it for fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many.
Yeah, it's doable if you people really want it, I guess. Do people really want it, though, is a big question.
Particle effects is doing better than I thought it would. Yeah.
About
62.
60%.
You guys aren't
isn't it?
so against graphical updates?
60%
Nice.
positive, so.
Anyways, next question, again from Anthony Ward asking about modifying the sophonym and port Phazimatis medes entrances to allow quicker access after the quest.
I'd like that.
Yep,
Let's
easy
do
to
that.
do.
Yeah.
Like the one at that port that you're naming. What I think at one point they added a right-click option to go straight through more quickly once you've done the quest, taking the that's almost seemed unnecessary because like you click on it, it can just take you straight through because you've done the quest. No need to be told why you're not being charged tokens.
It's changed to a multi-lock.
Yes, I did in fact change it to a multi-lock that time.
There you go.
So that it had a right-click option if you hadn't done the quest and needed to be able to pay, and you just left-click to go straight through if you had done it.
Awesome.
Right. Another one from Anthony asking about bringing back duel tournaments might make for a nice change to bring people other than stakers to the duel arena.
Dual tournaments, no.
Something similar mechanic-wise, but better written.
Someone wants to make a Colosseum as
I'm
well.
scrapping the entire idea of dual tournaments.
Tell me how you real feel.
No, because dual tournaments can be achieved. We can achieve what dual tournaments were much better. And similarly to what we've introduced, or what we're proposing with the continent, a proper dual tournament system, as opposed to the one you remember. It's we can still achieve the same effect, but we're not going to do it inside the dual arena as it was originally.
The thing about those tournaments is that at the time, Jagex was about to launch a trade restriction. Now we are not about to launch a trade restriction, so we've got a lot more flexibility than Nancy did when she had to write that thing back in 2007. Also, we don't have summoning about to turn up in the middle of it, which really made things complicated. So if we were trying to do dual tournaments, we could probably do it better than Jagex had a chance to do in 2007 itself, just because we don't have to stop people trading with their friends by losing stakes to them.
Right.
That would help a lot.
I think the ultimate aim, I guess, is that what you guys are asking for is a way that a group of you can go and compete to find out who the best duelist is and win stuff at the end of it, which is something that we can achieve.
Yeah, stake up front, held in escrow until somebody wins.
Yeah, I bought for the Colosseum. What I pretty much had in mind was like, say, 10, 20 of you go in, pay X amount, winner takes all, last man standing.
You have different ways of doing it as well. I mean, you could even have, winner takes all, or you could even have, winner takes 50% and 25 between the next one, and then, work it down that way. You can choose the way you want to do it.
I was online as a proper Roman style. It is a winner. It is life or death. Last one standing. Last one alive.
Kind of a fight pit only for
So
a small group.
But obviously, it can be adapted to do whatever we want it to do and whatever anybody else wants it to do. I think the biggest main stage of it all is it is a proper arena fight.
We can have different types of arenas as well, so you don't have to be max combat, say up to 70 or no higher than 5 defense or something like that as well. So it can be popular across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this one's from different Anthony. Anthony 18991157
Oh, that
asks.
Anthony. Yes, yeah.
Hey, that
Whatever.
Anyways, and he's asking about bringing the Fountain of Rune activity back to life by offering a 1 in 10th mage experience bonus, so you actually get something from it.
There's nothing stopping us doing that. We can easily offer it.
Wouldn't be hard to do.
I'm not a fan of the idea myself.
I'd almost as soon leave it not being useful, to be honest. There's a few things that you can charge on it that you can't charge elsewhere, if I recall. And I don't really feel the need to add an easier training method with 3 runes.
Yeah, I mean the purpose of it was to get people into the wilderness who had things on them. If you give free XP as well as the free runes, then you're just going to get loads and loads of people standing around it and AFK magic somewhere else. Might get them out of Lumbridge, of course.
Right.
But if you're lucky, you might catch someone carrying 28 glories like Alfie did.
All right. Again, from Anthony Numbers, asks for your thoughts on revamping Castle Wars. Awesome minigame, but the rewards are useless. Perhaps limit the minigame to certain worlds to stop boosting.
I'm inclined never to touch Castle Wars ever.
We do have a rather dedicated Castle Wars community, and they do have their own world. It's a very, very popular world, and they can invite players to join and play with them. Castle Wars has always been really, really popular on certain worlds, not across every world at the same time. So players have often found themselves needing to go to a certain world in order to get a game in Castle Wars. That's the same here with Old School. Naturally, World 334 is the main Castle Wars world. You might find people there. Otherwise, I can't remember what world we actually gave the Castle Wars
57.
community. 57.
Yeah.
So there, you can go there, you can ask them for an invite, and they'll probably invite you. They're really nice guys. As for rewards and changing Castle Wars, given the fact that not many people play Castle Wars anyway, and the only people that are playing them are the dedicated teams, they generally don't want us to change anything, and we're very, very against going against that, because obviously we don't want to hemorrhage that, the only community we have left playing Castle Wars. Rewards, we're open to changing. I don't think they really mind about rewards. As long as those rewards don't impact the Castle Wars game itself, I think they're open to allowing any different types of rewards. So we can add more rewards if people really want them, which include, I think we've added some rewards in the past anyway, such as the Mages kit, the Rangers kit, and the Halos.
There's no consumables there, are there?
No, there aren't. So
Might be a doable.
we can add any amount of Castle Wars reward items. I think so long as they don't impact the Castle Wars game or change the way Castle Wars is played, that shouldn't be much of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we need your ideas, of course, so please do stick on the forums ideas for Castle Wars rewards.
Personally, I think it'd be nice to see the gold armor. I think that's equivalent to Addy. In fact, maybe be bumped up to runes, the rune pierce has something kind of to show off.
Possibly.
Nobody really uses Addy. Anyways, again from Anthony asking, will Old School Runescape ever have a double XP weekend?
Unless you tell us you really, 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 really want it.
The last time we ran a straw poll about that, the answer wasn't very much yes. And there was quite a lot of votes for doing a half XP weekend instead.
Exactly.
That was funny.
So maybe we ought to do a poll, and everybody who votes yes can get a half XP weekend.
I think we could do that, you know.
Iron Mans would love that though.
It was, yeah.
All right, Austie OSRS asks, what about adding an item such as the Vecna skull to the rare drop table to make the Ring of Wealth useful?
The Ring of Wealth is useful. It's got a drop log on it.
What's the Vecna?
Oh, it's an item that you clicked on it and it boosted your magic by 7.
Yeah.
Which isn't terribly useful in
Didn't
our
really make
game.
much sense when it came out the first time.
So how did that make the Ring of Wealth useful?
It was because it was only dropped from the rare drop table revamp, which was accessed by the Ring of Wealth,
Oh, right, okay.
and crashed the price for about 16 different items simultaneously.
So You could only get onto this drop table if you had the Ring of Wealth equipped.
Yeah. No.
No.
No,
It just increased your chances of getting there.
when they revamped the drop table for the Ring of Wealth originally, obviously they put more items on it, and obviously the Ring of Wealth is supposedly makes you more likely to land on that drop table, so you're more likely to get hold of one.
Yeah, but if you're on the gem drop table, then you're more likely to get from it onto the rares if you've got a Ring of Wealth equipped. The thing is, there's not very much of use on that rare drop table, which is why the Ring of Wealth is about as useful as an empty slot, give or take the boss log I think you put on it. Yeah, if we had some more useful stuff on that table, then the Ring of Wealth would be pointing you towards something worth having. Mind you, there are a few other ideas. Somebody sent in a long time back suggesting that the Ring of Wealth could cause all coin drops to teleport themselves straight to your inventory.
Not a bad shout.
I don't fancy playing around with all the coin dropping scripts, but
As for the Vecna Skull itself, I think, as John rightfully pointed out, it did hemorrhage a lot of items, and also somebody else said in the chat a minute ago, it was an unlimited magic potion. Yeah, why not? Let's have it.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to have an unlimited magic potion, which will then completely make the other magic potions completely redundant.
It's saying that magic potions don't have a whole lot of use. Boosting magic at all doesn't have a whole lot of use. I imagine this item would come out a load of hype, start off fairly high priced, and within a week it'd be worth nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe something else to buff it.
I can only see stakers having much use for it.
No, that would not be allowed in the duel arena.
Yes, exactly. They're the only people that would have a use for it.
Right. Next question from Facade666 asks, when do you think the new achievement diaries will be added? Do we have any say at all?
Beginning of next year.
Beginning of next year, there
Yeah.
you go. That's a big one.
Gareth's made some progress. Should we get
Yeah.
a closer look?
I love the way it's sort of coming straight in.
I haven't been able to stop looking at
That's
it.
all right, I'm level 100.
So does Gareth want to talk us through what he's done?
Basically, we've got a
He's drawn a snake.
snake eating Pikachu. Basically, what we've got going on there.
Do you want me to go through? Okay, so far it's just a basic snake. It's quite an easy thing to draw, to be honest. That's why we picked it. So it's something that hopefully I can get done within an hour to a reasonable degree, so you can all sort of like see exactly what it is. Am I looking towards the camera? No?
You've got your screen.
Right, okay, that's fair enough then, cool. Yeah, so you can see it's sort of like grey at the moment. I will be colouring that in last. I just like to get all the sort of like shade and tone in there first, and then I'll add the colour afterwards. That'll be generally the last thing that I do. All this green stuff around here is kind of like a murky sort of quagmire swamp with swamp gas, because we're actually thinking about setting it in sort of like a swamp, water-ridden environment, and yeah, that's pretty much everything so far. I'm going to just keep adding a few more shapes, forms, shades, tones, etc. in here, and also some scale work towards the end. So hopefully we'll be able to have a bit more of a clear idea of what's going on here in about half an hour.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. This question's from Cheesy Dude, and he asks for a Pizza Man random event.
Is that Pizza Man with MN?
We're doing that.
It turns out last night on his live stream, Ronan went to a free-to-play world, and I think he went to the Ice Wolf Mountain, or White Wolf Mountain, sorry. No, actually no, the Ice Mountain, where the Oracle is.
Likely.
And when he got there, there was just a random guy called Pizza Man there, and the Pizza Man wasn't expecting him, by the sounds of it. I don't know, I wasn't watching. And just asked Ronan if he wanted a pizza. And obviously, naturally, everybody watching Ronan's stream turned up. The Pizza Man turned around and went, "Do you all want pizza?" And just gave out pizza to everybody.
Why he got all the pizza?
I don't know why he had pizza, but he was the pizza man, so he was giving everybody pizza. His name is Pizza MN.
We're doing this.
So he gave as many people that were at Ronan's live stream pizza. I think, by the way Ronan described it to me, this guy was quite surprised that not only was there a JMod there, but then 2,000 people turned up, and he felt obliged to give them all pizza. It's like, what do you? I'll give you all pizza then.
Who carries pizza up that
I
mountain?
don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if I've got the story wrong, please someone correct me. I'm just going by what Ronan said. But it sounds like this guy was just aimlessly wandering around Ice Mountain when he found himself delivering pizza to everybody.
He got lost on
Legend.
the delivery.
He was, as someone rightly pointed out, he was the real MVP.
The irony of the entire thing, though, is he wasn't able to give Ronan pizza, was he?
No,
he
he
can't
wasn't.
trade with him.
Ronan went without pizza. But
All right.
That's all right, Ronan. I had a Chinese last night, and I thought of you all the way through.
oh,
That's sweet.
that's horrible.
I did. I was like, I should really tweet about the stream.
I
I
think-
realised it was 10 to 10.
I think somebody should get a nice image of John's face, Ronan's face.
Yeah,
Big
so
people
heart.
of heart.
And now there was
Someone did that with me and you once. It was really
I think
funny.
they did actually.
I think
Yeah.
it was me.
Oh yeah, probably.
Happy Halloween.
You invaded on a stream, and I'd like to fight back.
Robo Sick Dog says Pizza MN gave me a pineapple pizza.
Nice.
Somebody else said they got a pizza, but their name just went off screen as well. So yeah, everybody got pizza by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good win.
All right. Next question. RS Jakey asks, any chance we could get a kill counter after each kill for the Kraken boss and Smoke Devil boss?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
That
include
will,
those.
that will only increment your total Kraken, total Smoke Devil counts, but yeah, we can add that.
That wasn't added to the boss log because they are Slayer creatures. We didn't at the time consider them to be bosses, which is what obviously the boss log is for.
Right.
So they weren't added to that. So if we did start doing it, they would start from 1 or 0. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
So
we'll create a
anything
new
you-
counter, yeah.
Anything you kill after we launch it would obviously start at 0. So if you kill 2,000, I'm sorry, that's not being included. Or we can't.
All right. It can be done.
Oh damn.
Hope they got the pet at least.
Yeah, is that?
Right. So next, Steel Reserve. I thought this might be. We've already talked about this, obviously, but what in the world is the Well of Goodwill? Why not just kind of re-educate them?
Well, of goodwill. Okay, so we like to give away money to charity, and the way we like to do it is by involving you guys. And we've got 3 charities, and I cannot remember them off the top of my head.
We have Young Minds, we have Donate Games, and we have The Able Gamers.
Fantastic. What that basically happens is you take your items. There's a list of 100 items, isn't it? 100 whitelisted items.
Something like that, yeah.
Which you can donate into the well, and you can also donate gold straight into the well. And then we will take, for every million gold you donate, we will give £1 or $1 to these charities. You can even decide which charity you want the money to go to. And we will do that because we think it's quite a cool thing to do. I mean, the benefits for the game itself is items and money will disappear out of the game, which is going to be a good thing for you guys. But the most important thing is these guys get some help and we get some money out to charity, which we think is quite a cool thing.
Yeah.
And as an additional incentive, because some people do like to do this for things in return, naturally, there are 3, we're giving away 3 rewards to everybody who donates.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to reach a certain value to give away. But have we announced what we're giving away yet?
If we haven't, we can do it now. So 25 billion GP, I think, is the first one. I've got to get it right. No, 10 billion GP.
Is the
You get
bowl cut. No, it's not the bowl cut, is it?
No, it's the Supreme Leader haircut
Yes.
based on a person that we particularly enjoy reading about from a country
He likes cheese.
who likes cheese and just had a leg operation apparently on a cyst on his ankle. And his father played golf once on his first try. He got a hole in one.
And his country's just won every single competition ever.
Okay, and the second one is the bowl cut, modelled by our fabulous mod Ronan. And the third one is, as is being almost demonstrated by Ash right now, the Ash emote, which I think Ash is going to demonstrate live right now for
It's
you.
quite hard to do the cup
Get
at
your
the same
cameras ready for
time,
the
but,
gifts, please, guys.
This is part of it.
But, yeah, so you're going to get an emote based on mod Ash.
Yes.
And that's at 50 billion. 50 billion.
And if you get to 100 billion, which is a huge amount, we will even make a cosmetic item that you asked for. So if we get that high, we will make a custom
Yeah,
item
whatever you want. That can be
both
anything
whatever
from
you want.
a pet gnome child to a
Pet gnome child to
golden bucket hat or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
If they get to 100 billion, does the indicator go off the screen?
It
does,
does.
yeah.
Awesome.
The game shuts down.
But yeah, so those are the 3. These rewards are given out not for individual contribution, but for community contribution.
Yes.
So if you decide to donate 10 billion, everybody in the game will unlock the rewards at 10 billion because you decided to donate that much.
Yeah.
So it's a community effort to reach those milestones because obviously this is a community-driven game. So everybody has to work together for these.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Next question. Arkwell Burrows asks, could we see an option to melt down jewelry and receive just the gem back? So kind of making smithing more
Of a power
relevant.
training thing.
Is there a gem market, for want of a better phrase?
Yes, there is.
I'd make it so it wasn't 100% chance you got it back, and that would vary based on your crafting level, crafting and smithing level. Actually, why not?
There's a second part of the question actually saying also for the ability to smelt down armor and weapons for less bars in return.
That
I don't see that ever passing. Should we offer it anyway?
Yeah.
That's a bit more contentious, but the gem one is doable,
Yeah.
and I like
There's
the
definitely
idea.
a market for gems. Gems are quite popular. I mean, I remember training crafting on gems anyway.
Yeah.
It's sorry, Coke, Fanta even. It's quite quick. So
He is.
yeah, no, I was just laughing because Simon's decided to start laughing, and Simon laughs every time there is a noise over here at all.
Right.
To change it, they decided to switch to Gareth.
Go into Alfie mode.
So effectively, if you have 1,000 extra Ring of Forgings you're never going to use, you could smelt them down for smithing and crafting XP, and you would get only the ruby in return?
Likely that's what they mean, although again, I don't see it ever passing.
So
Right.
once you've got a good supply of gems, you just need gold bars and you can get XP from the same gems over and over again. I
It could
guess.
be actually quite a good reward from the achievement diaries.
A special furnace where you can do these things.
Special furnace, or even wearing one of the pieces of equipment.
Yeah, we could make it so that you get minimal XP from it, and it's quite a time-consuming process. So you're still more efficient to not be making jewellery for a start.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I can work with and design the full feature around. So it shouldn't be too difficult to develop either.
You know, do interesting things to the gem market. Like there practically won't be one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only concern that I have.
And it's
Yeah,
quite
that's why I
concerning.
wouldn't make it 100% chance you got it
absolutely.
back.
And that's why I'd really not do it to other metals with smelting down the armour, because if you do that to all of the metal, that might be bad.
Yes, indeed.
All right. A couple big questions coming. First one from Daz Scott. Will there ever be any way to obtain bonds in Old School?
If you want them, we'll do them. Simple as that. I mean, we've been quite open about this. We're happy to put bonds in. We can do it. You know, as soon as if you guys would vote for it, I can imagine we could have it in a matter of weeks. Even a week, I reckon we could have it in.
We've got an engine guy now.
I think we'd have all the support we need to get it done. What you've got to realise is that if we put bonds into Old School, you've got the good side of you being able to use gold to make membership, but at some point someone has to pay money for that bond, has to pay real money. So effectively, real money will equal gold in game. And that's something you've got to be comfortable with. We'll do it if you want it, that's no problem at all. But you've got to make that decision that you want it.
And when we talked about them before, it was like literally 50-50. We couldn't.
Exactly.
That's
You
what
know,
it looks like right now.
it's something that we're open to and we're happy to do. And if you guys give us the go ahead, I'm sure it will happen incredibly quickly.
Could we have a straw poll?
Yeah, absolutely. Do a straw poll on it. Yeah. But
Any guesses? I'm going to say.
if it does happen, it will obviously be polled beforehand, and you guys will get to your say in it. But you've got to realise that there's both sides of it. There is the good side of paying for your membership with gold, but there is the side that you're not so comfortable with, which is getting real money, paying for real money, and getting that turned into gold. So that's what you've got to be comfortable with. But we'll happily do it.
Surprised if that passes 60. I'd kind of like to see it personally.
Yeah,
but
I think it'll be a good thing. It's happening anyway because there's people moving gold between the game.
Yeah.
So people will buy a bond in RS3. They will then turn that into cash, or then transport that cash from RS3 into Old School. So it's happening already. The only difference now is that it's funding the clans which stand in Lumbridge spamming that you're going to move gold, and they're getting more and more wealthy, which is not a great thing to happen. But again, we're not going to force it on you. We're not going to push an agenda on it. It's a case of if you guys want it, then you can have it. But we're going to be open and say you got to accept the bad side of it as well. But have a go at the straw poll.
right. Next big question from the Checkley asks for an ETA on resizable mode.
2015.
Boom.
I think so.
Yep.
It's not that far.
No, it is.
It could be
November
over a year
in
away.
a couple of days.
Yeah,
I think we can do better than that.
it's not that far away, but people have to remember it's not a small job either.
Yeah.
So, there is still work. 2015 might only be around the corner, but we're not specifying what period of 2015 it's going to be available.
First.
Yeah, I think it'll be a wonderful thing, and I think
Yeah.
I think
Well, it's something
you
we
guys think
want,
so
something
too.
you want. So yeah, we understand it's something worth doing fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was also a question on being able to zoom in, but I don't see how that's too important with such a small, like maybe when resizable
Middle
comes.
zooming in,
If
yeah.
the screen were bigger, it might mean more. But
Yeah.
for the moment, if you zoom much further in, then you're not seeing very much.
Seeing your bald patch on your head, effectively. aren't
4
you?
pixels. All right. Would it be possible? This is from Miss VMK. Would it be possible to add a previous name indicator for the
Wow.
friends list?
Look at that.
1,000 votes almost, and it's 53 to 47%.
That's exactly
so
how it would be.
You see, there's a contentious. This is bonds we're talking about, by the way. We could see that. You probably, I don't know if you can. But yeah, bonds again, almost exact 50-50 split, 53 to 47 in favour of bonds. Yeah.
Right.
What more can we say?
Yeah, we need to see 75.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to repeat that question
Until it
real
gets
quick.
changed, or unless it gets changed.
Would it be possible to add a previous name indicator from the friends list to see what somebody changed their name to, I think?
Didn't we do that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, that's live already.
It shows us a tooltip if there was one.
Somebody needs to play the game a bit more, I think, whoever tweeted that in. Yeah. Because we
Not-
knew that's
not
right.
me.
Someone needs to play them all if they're asking a question.
Yeah, Hey, he's just got a full-time job.
Clarifying.
He's fair, he had just moved continents.
Yes, yeah. Let's be honest with you. It's we move houses and it's maybe a few miles. He does it in a few thousand.
It's
Give him some
I'm
trivial.
moving in 2 weeks, I'm moving less than a mile.
trivial.
All right. From Ali's okay. Anyways, could we please repull the Zamrak Spear special attack bug, especially in the ability? I'm assuming this isn't a bug, and they're just referring.
It's
to
not a bug. No, I mean it's
the shoves with it.
yeah.
Question whether it should stack or not.
Right.
If we were writing it today, we would write it probably not to stack. That said, the way it was for a very, very long time is not something we're going to change, especially after the players didn't vote for us to do so.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Obnoxious. Can we see an update to longbows making them useful?
They are useful. You get out them.
I suppose it comes down to sort of a lot of these sort of questions we get is, make something useful, how would it be useful? So that's sort of the next question that we put back to you guys. What would you do to make your longbow useful?
I had this suggestion once, a long time ago now, must be like 2012, where if you, with a bit more fletching, you could update your longbow to have a little potion sack added to it, and use your herb lord to put some potion in that sack, and then use your fire-making skill that when you fire an arrow, it catches fire from the potion, and your talent with a flint while firing an arrow.
Magic.
This would also make the arrows vanish because they wouldn't fall on the ground if they've been on fire, and the bow would eventually wear out after use, and gradually the things would actually go through the economy rather than just piling up for out purposes. Now, one immediate drawback to that is that fire-making will suddenly become a combat skill, which people, they say they want to make it useful, but they probably don't mean it should be used for that. But it would be nice to do something that you could be a fletching update and a herb lore update and a fire-making update, and make a bow slightly more useful all at the same time.
Yes.
If we got around some of the design things and didn't make it overpowered.
All right. Next question. Green Door asks, with the trading post, is it going to be an option on existing banks, or could it possibly have the same area the Grand Exchange used to have?
I believe.
I believe we planned to put it in most banks.
Yeah,
Rather like we do with the poll booths.
I honestly can't remember. It's been that long now, but that's what immediately springs to mind.
No, it was somewhere in banks, yeah.
Yes, since it doesn't actually transfer the items, it wasn't especially powerful having access to see it and search it in any place on the world. We'd even, I think, be open to the idea of giving you a orb that you can carry around to view it from elsewhere.
Yeah.
We could similarly build it into the game frame, although editing the game frame is not something we do lightly.
Right. Next question. Mr. Max Tank asks, can we get an operate option on the Ava's accumulator to stop it from gathering junk, such as arrows?
You really got to start playing the game.
There's an option on it somewhere. I forget whether it may not be an operate option, but there's an option on it.
Yeah, it's not an operate option. You have to take it off, right-click your unit, turn it on or off.
But
I've never been bothered with it, to be honest. I don't mind getting a steel arrow every now and then.
sometimes people don't want their inventory filled up with something inconvenient when they're on a trip.
All right. Next question. At Lego Head Ronan asks, why can't we attack pigs?
Why would you want it? Bacon.
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 Come on,
work.
what could you not? Yeah.
God, I had
Pork
bacon
in the game.
Yeah, I think
We need a good reason to make bacon, I guess.
I think Mod Mark said one his at RuneFest his greatest achievement was getting bacon into RuneScape. So I'd very much like to do that.
That's his greatest achievement.
One thing he was most
Of all
proud
things
of
to
was
measure against.
getting bacon into RuneScape.
I think we should put bacon into RuneScape. I'm
What would
not
it heal? Is it going to be actual PK at them? Replace sharks?
Yeah.
What give you heart disease?
Well, it's bacon. It goes good on everything.
Yeah.
We'll just add it to all the food.
All right.
Gonna need brown sauce.
Bacon sandwich. Just have to take the loaf of bread. Get
Bacon
their
pizza. Then pizza
Yeah,
men will
bacon
have
on pizza. Yeah, I think it's a much
new
bigger
line.
upgrade. Start again. A much bigger update than we first thought. This bacon lark. So I think we'll have to a proper bacon themed poll.
It's possible that the pig NPCs don't have combat animations because when they were made, they were intended for a future farming update with animal husbandry. So they may not have modelled combat for pigs. But we've got an artist, he animates rather well from what I've seen lately.
So what we need, okay, this update from just getting bacon and not being able to attack pigs is now we have to be able to grow pigs farm your own pigs, turn them into bacon, then add food options to most of the food options in game. As I think we're all agreed, bacon goes with everything.
Especially jacket potatoes.
Yeah. Especially jacket potatoes.
We would then have to add different types of bacon.
Could you have just bacon
Well,
and
you-
cheese?
you
You,
can't
have to
just kill
smoke
a
your
pig.
bacon as
Yeah,
well.
We need a smoker.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
Maple
can't.
syrup from maple
It's
trees.
an art. Yeah.
Pancakes.
Yeah, so have to smoke. So we now got a smoker update as well. So different sorts of smoking using
Alright.
different sorts of wood.
I kind of want to know what James
yeah.
just said to
Different
Simon.
Okay.
So,
What would bacon smoked over magic logs taste like?
Magic bacon.
that's the question,
To be
isn't it?
fair, you'd be seeing really weird things. You'd be in a different state of mind if you smoked it over magic logs.
I actually do own a smoker as well. I probably should.
Can you put
Bet
it in
you
the
don't
office?
own any magic
Yeah,
logs.
I don't own any magic logs. No, just the one that I tweeted out earlier.
I'm not having bacon over that.
James just typed drool emote. We need a drool emote.
Yeah, we'll do a draw emote.
So this update suddenly got huge. I think we probably need to at some point just do a bacon poll.
Tell you what, we'll scrap the continent
If we put
and
off
do this instead.
resizable, yeah, if we just say resizable 2016, we can have 2015 being the year of bacon.
No, 2016 I wanted to do Johnscape.
Oh dear.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
We have a real
Do you think
question.
that has a poll?
It will.
So this one from 2P Hat asking, please increase the duration of the 2014 Halloween event for another week. It seems it's not even live for 2 weeks, and it seems like you guys put some effort into it. Why not let your work hang out for another week?
Well, it's been there for 1 week so far. It's going to be there for all of this week. 2 weeks ain't unusual for a holiday event, and
Yeah.
we're kind of into mid-November by the end of that.
And the work into it, yeah, was a bit, but all the graphical assets we didn't make, apart from one.
That graphical
Yeah.
asset, I asked for that especially.
Yeah, it was damn good.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they were already in the archive, so we didn't go overboard on it. And I imagine, actually, that's where those eucalyptus trees came from that ended up south of Thelwood Hills. So just noticed those models in the garden. We can use those.
Okay.
Yes, they are eucalyptus models from the First Resort quest.
Feeney asks, can the Armadillo crossbow especially be updated to, this is just basically asking for a buff, but he has an idea here to increase it for 10% more damage and freeze your opponent, this is the special attack by the way, freeze your opponent for 10 seconds with 40% of the first hit being dealt over 8 seconds, like a poison bleeding effect. Kind of.
He tweeted that, did he?
It's
That would be
it's a
ridiculous
very
overpowered.
intricate idea.
How do you tweet that?
He linked me to a Reddit post, which is like 2 paragraphs long about it.
Oh,
That's
so
not
That is
what I did.
tremendously powerful.
It is,
He said that requires 50% special attack.
That is redonkulously powerful.
Yeah.
It's too strong.
Regardless, a buff on the ACB though.
Yeah, happy to do one.
Happy to.
Using bits of that idea, I think doing all of them is a bit OP, and I just assume the community would agree with me, but based on what I can see in the chat. But yeah, something like a bit of a damage over time effect on it we can do.
One of
Dot
the other
effects
things.
are nice.
One of the other things that was suggested for the ACB was to dig out what Xanix's crossbow did after the Chosen Commander quest. Since we ain't ever having that quest, we could still use that special attack design. Personally, I'd rather go with this thing. It seemed more useful, though a little bit too useful just at the moment. But yeah, that's what we could do.
Yeah, 10% damage buff, and whatever you hit will be split into damage over time as well, or something.
The thing about the ACB is that when we were polying it in the first place, there were a lot of people saying God was coming to the game, now there's even more powerful things, the game's going to be ruined, can't have it too powerful. So when we found that people did nevertheless want a special attack on the thing, we made sure it was a really, really naff one so that it wouldn't be overpowered. I think on that we succeeded. So now people are a bit more accustomed to higher level combat and in old school, and it's not shoving the game too far into the 90 combat levels or something straight away. I'm totally up for buffing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Melee gained the AGS at the time, and with things like the Zerka Ring Eye, Tacit's Dragon Boots, that was another damage, and what else have we done? Oh, yeah, Kraken Technical
And there
was
Staff
another
of
one.
the Dead came around that point.
Yeah, Magic's got the Staff of the Dead and your Cult Necklace since then. Range hasn't got a whole lot, so I'm perfectly happy to look into balancing something for you
Yep.
at the top end.
Okay.
How's Gareth getting on with his?
I was just going to say, I've actually got a question for him if we can pan over to
sweet.
him.
Yes.
This is from Torva AG, and he asks for a cosmetic change to the Dragon Axe, like an upgrade kit similar to the Dragon Pickaxe or Odium Ward.
Okay, yeah, cool. We can, well, I can essentially update any graphic that anyone wants. All they have to do is garner enough support for that community, just make sure everyone's happy with it, and we can eventually poll that. I can certainly do concepts before we actually get to that stage though, just so people have an idea of what they're actually going to be voting for if it does go into a poll. But yeah, just pretty much have a word with people in game, see what the general feeling is, and if you've got enough support for your idea, bring it to us and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, Gareth does like to make his concepts, don't you, Gareth?
I do, yeah.
That's exactly what it's going to look like.
So how have we got on with the snake?
The snake at the moment
Yeah.
still needs scales. I think I've got 9 minutes to do all the scales. That'll be
Get cracking.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Can you
No
have
more
it
talking.
crying? I like to collect tears of snakes.
You want it to cry? No,
Yes.
no, I'm afraid we can't do crying snakes.
Let's get the scales and some fangs, I think. And then,
And some tears.
Yeah, you got 9 minutes, so
9 minutes. Pressure's on. Pressure's on, Gareth.
All right.
Godspeed.
It could be a especially smooth snake.
Okay. Next question. This is from I. Kelly, who asks,
Stream of favoritism.
when can we see distractions and diversions, penguins, etc.?
I think we'll have a distraction
Just
there.
because she really liked the penguins.
Yes, we would like to do D&Ds as well. I think the idea of a daily repeatable content or weekly repeatable content is a damn good idea. I brought up a proposition as a change to achievement diaries the other day to make achievement diaries slightly more replayable with additional rewards on top.
Which will be here about tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. So obviously when you complete an achievement diary, much like a quest, you never see it again. I didn't want that to happen with achievement diaries. I'd like some replayability there as well. So that's something that we're looking forward to. As for penguins, shooting stars, evil trees, I would like to do something of the sort. I think they're very, very nice. People like the idea of walking through or finishing their mining, for example, and then seeing an evil tree and thinking, oh, that's a nice break, I'll go and do that. It's some free XP, that's some free logs, free whatever. I don't have to put much effort into that. It's just a nice community event.
Hey.
That was really good. I'd like to see some D&Ds or a level of D&D. What you want is entirely up to you, of course. So if you're in favour of D&Ds, would like a specific D&D back, like an entirely new one altogether, do let us know and we'll see if we can explore it.
Cool.
I'm not a banana, James.
I would not eat that banana.
Quick, somebody
got a tail and
kill
everything.
John. Let's not.
Right. Okay. We have questions. Yeah, this is from Essen Jaloper, who asks, can we pull the release of 5 and 10-year capes for Old School RuneScape? Now, obviously, he's talking about 5 years playing the actual just RuneScape game, not Old School. So can we just touch on that a bit?
With the engine support we're getting so that Hans can tell you how long you've played, we'll be able to tell you if you've played for that length of time, which would be one of the hurdles that we had before.
In 2018.
Would people like the idea of having a cape to show their 5-year commitment to RuneScape as a game, or would they like a cape to show their 5-year commitment to Old School? Is it important that they have a cape to say, I've been a member or have played RuneScape for 5 years, 10 years? Yeah. Or do they want a freshly new one specific to Old School to show their dedication to Old School RuneScape? I think that's the biggest question.
Maybe
They can have both, but I think, when they're referring to that, they'd like to show off their 5-year capes to RuneScape. But those people who have played Old School RuneScape since the very start might like something exclusive to show their commitment to Old School.
A lot of people made new accounts when Old School came out as well, and I'd like to keep it Old School exclusive. It just seems to make more sense.
Yeah.
But
I would prefer it to
That's
be
what
Old
they're
School exclusive.
that looks like...
So they're all shouting Old School in that chat, which is brilliant. So you wouldn't like somebody to come along who's never played Old School before but has had an account for 10 years saying, oh, look at me, I've got this exclusive tape you don't have.
If they've had an account for 10 years, they have played Old School before, in a way.
In a way, that's true. You are right.
but not 5.
But we're not. But they're really shouting Old School. That's what I'd like to see anyway. I'd like to see an Old School exclusive cape to show your commitment to Old School and your time is being well spent.
So would that be pulled then or just brought in?
Yeah, we can pull that.
Yeah, we
That looks like it'd pass pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Illumini Dreams asked, when is the next name clear out?
No idea.
Given this last one released something like 50 odd million names, I imagine they're not planning another one for a significant amount of time.
Yeah. Don't know.
Okay.
We're still on questions.
Might be worthwhile heading back and having a look at the original news post. We wouldn't have done it. It would have come from runescape.com. But have a look there, find the original news post, because it may well have talked about a future strategy for release of them. I know we have internally spoken about it. I don't know what's been said publicly though, but have a chat. Have a look.
This one's from AOA Tube, who says, can Mod Archie grow a bowl cut so we can roast him instead of Ronan?
I did find someone else today actually and offered them some retweets for a haircut, but he politely declined.
Did he?
The answer is yes.
Blame him. His dad's a bit of an ogre from what I understand. He's never gone for it.
I could take him.
It's going to take me 10 years or so to grow Ronan's bowl cut. But It's doable. All right. All right. Sony22 asks for thoughts on a possible Jad pet.
Yeah.
We've definitely considered it.
I think previously we mentioned buying it for like 100 fire capes or something.
It would be the only pet you can physically buy, however, it would cost you more than you're probably willing to pay for it, which would be fire capes. Obviously,
Yeah.
now you can have more than one fire cape. I think John and I were toying with the idea of 50 to 100, between that range, maybe even one of those numbers.
I'd go with
fire
100
capes.
plus.
I would like 100 because obviously you can kill like
You're
300.
killing me.
I know a few people that have been killing Kriara now. They're 700-800 kills into Kriara and not got a kill.
I've seen them up
In
to
that time,
1,000.
you could easily have got yourself 100 fire capes to trade in for a pet. So
So Wooks is the
it's-
only one with a Jad pet.
well, it's not impossible. I saw somebody work. There was somebody on Reddit actually who was starting their fire cape progress towards a
Yeah, they got to
potential
30
Jad
or
pet.
something. Yeah.
So we had considered it for sure. If you really want one, we can do one. We will likely make you pay for it. How much we make you pay, we have yet to decide, but it will be in fire capes.
I think we'd have to go with the buying it as well, rather than just being a random chance every time you complete the fight cave, because unlike other bosses, doing the fight caves all day rather than killing, it costs you a lot of money, and all you're getting back is a bit of tockle, and I think 100 capes is what, 8 million, 16 million, 1.6. How much tockle would you get for completing the fight cave? 8,000.
8,000.
Or was it 16,000?
I think it's.
It's more than 8.
I honestly can't remember, to be honest. I really can't.
8,192
RuneScape more,
or something.
God.
I got myself a fire cape. Another one. I thought that's
Yeah,
enough.
so you could have 820 odd thousand tockle, which is enough to buy, like, that's 10 million Furies.
Right. Okay. This is a kind of interesting question from Lee John Net. Asks, can you let me hijack my session whenever I disconnect? I hate DCing and then trying to log back in. It says your account is already logged in.
These checks are in there for a reason.
Yeah.
I imagine one's very difficult to take them out, I'd have thought.
It's not,
Depends if you want them taken out.
I don't know what the impact of that
if
will
you were
be.
always
yeah.
playing from the same IP and the system could recognise that it was the same IP that had been logged in a few minutes ago and was still apparently logged in, then maybe it could terminate the session earlier. I don't know what effects that would have though, or whether somebody else around your network might suddenly cause very nasty effects for you unexpectedly.
Yeah.
But if you're in combat, I think we'd have to override it and say, no, you've got to wait as well.
I think that's sort of what goes through my mind is sort of the alarm bells ringing is interrupting combat. What if somebody else on your IP university is brothers and sisters aren't always nice to each other, is messing about. It's sort of those two in particular just make me think sounds quite dangerous. Well, I suppose we can do it. It just boils down to I want to talk to the hijacking guys first, certainly find out what they think.
Yeah.
So, sounds good?
Yeah.
Yep. I've got
Okay.
at least... Sorry, I've got a bunch more questions, but we're running low on time. Do we have a cap? We can't stay too long, or...
You had
Yeah.
too many questions.
Well, we've
questions.
almost effectively within the next minute hit the cap of time anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've been stuck on paper all the time.
Yeah.
Should we address a couple of last big ones then, or...?
If you've got anything interesting there, go for
Yeah,
it.
there's... Right.
Where's my tail?
Let's just end big with... do we have anything we can mention about the continent?
At the moment, there's going to be a devlog very soon about. We're actually polling the continent very, very soon. A devlog will go up. When? It's not tomorrow, is it? It is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. There is a devlog going up tomorrow, detailing what we're going to be polling with the new continent. You'll have your chance to say yes or no to the idea, and that will determine the future of the entire design, the entire idea, everything we presented to you in the first devlog and at RuneFest if you were there or were watching. That will be up tomorrow. We shall give you some brief information on some of the ideas we've had already. For those people that haven't watched the RuneFest live stream or didn't attend RuneFest or have no idea about what we presented at RuneFest, that devlog will contain the things we demonstrated at RuneFest.
If you've got a link to RuneFest, guys, might be worthwhile putting it in the chat.
If you weren't at RuneFest or you didn't see or you don't know what we talked about, it would be very nice if you did watch the sort of presentation that Ronan and I gave you at RuneFest about the continent, so you'll have a better idea of what we're offering you. You can do that, have a look at that tomorrow, and then you'll be able to vote on it in the following week, I believe.
All right.
That's about as much as I have for continent right now.
Quick side question. Will it be released in small bits or as one whole?
I would like to do it as a majority update. So I would like to get most of it, at least 90% of it, out in one update. So people aren't getting to the end game of what we've released and then are waiting for the next stage. It's always very frustrating when you you get some new content, and whilst being promised content on top of that further down the line, you reach the end very, very quickly. And we know the RuneScape community, we know how dedicated they can be, we know they will reach the end goal very, very quickly. I don't like the idea of giving you this much, you getting to that much, you completing that much in, you know, the first week, and not having the next bit for another 3 weeks. I don't like that. I'd like to give it to you as one big lump sum, so everybody has an awful lot to do, and that gives us time to work out the finer details, introduce smaller minor parts that aren't as important. So I wouldn't expect the entire continent to come as a huge package in one go. I expect an awful lot of it, a super majority of it at least, to be in one update, and then further updates down the line to both change the stuff as per feedback, add or remove things that we don't think are necessary anymore, or and extra further development work that needs to be done.
Also, if we go down the route of having, you come to a city and there's no way into it yet, but it'll come in a future update, and that update never comes for a while, or gets delayed, or never gets around to it. It's called menopause or thriftiness or something.
Yeah. So I don't like the idea of blocking people off or promising content further down the line and then not being able to deliver it as fast as people would like it. So I'd like to give it to you all in one go, so that you get everything you want at the same time.
Cool.
Right, I think we probably ought to go and have a final look at how Gareth has got on.
I've seen Gav very, very quickly brush that tool over there to try and get those scales on.
We're trying to give you a few extra
It
minutes.
looks scaly now. There's some surface noise, so we're fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's just about done. It's not too bad for an hour's work. Not the best work, but it's an hour's work. So
I couldn't do that in a month. I think it's solid.
Yeah, and get it tweeted out and everybody can see it in a proper
cool.
image.
Don't forget to sign it.
Yeah, I will
Mod
not
John
do
C.
that.
Skill specs.
So it's probably about time to wrap it up.
I think we've got a few things to plug. As has been mentioned across the course of the stream, there'll be a couple of devlogs up tomorrow. One for the continent, one with achievement diaries, and another one for the Will of Goodwill. And streams over the weekend. It is the Clank Up something or other. I'm waiting for someone to give me words to say.
There's a Clank Up finals, but there's an Old School set.
Yeah, right. The Clank Up finals being streamed tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Saturday and Sunday.
No, just Saturday.
Okay, on Saturday on this channel, the CRS3 Clank Up finals. But Old School does have a segment. Words aren't coming out. Myself and James will be doing a stream giving away a load of rares at about 8 o'clock GMT. So tune in for that.
Also, the Well of Goodwill opens on the 1st of November. If you want to dump some items out of the RuneScape community, out of the RuneScape game, or just feel really, really charitable, go ahead and throw your items into the well, throw your money into the well, pick a charity of your choice, research them. We will put up a post about each individual charity, what they target, what they specialise in, and who the people they're trying to help. So do take advantage of that, because it does go to a good cause, and and the item sync that you've wanted for so long is also there as well. So at the very least, do it to get rid of some items.
So it's due to turn on at midnight GMT between Friday and Saturday. That's when it will open.
And it'll be available all month, all the way up to the 31st or 30th. I can't actually remember how many.
30 days.
30 days, that's the one. 30 days, the 30th of November, sorry.
Please get it to 50 billion. I want that emote. I need it.
It's not unachievable.
I might have to help them out.
Yes. Also, lots of new videos that Chris is making as well on the website, on the YouTube page, which I don't know what it's called. Old School RS Community.
Yes, Old School RS Community.
Old School RS Community. There it is. Link to it somewhere on our website. So.
Working to get some weekly videos every. Probably gonna get a schedule like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you guys. If you saw the first one, it just came out I think 2 days ago. I made a video. It might have been yesterday. Bad memory of Old School Runescape Weekly, where I'll be addressing all the stuff that's happened the last week and maybe a little bit into the future, just to save you some forum time reading and give you a little insight as to what's going on with the game. So look forward to those weekly, as well as obviously the stream videos will be going up. So if you missed the stream, the beginning of the stream or anything like that, this will be going up shortly as well. And then we're looking to add in some cute little bonus videos in there as well, similar to Ronan's haircut, stuff like that. So, yep. Lots of good stuff.
Absolutely. So I guess it's just thank you all very much for watching.
Right, yeah. See you next week.
And to the guy that wants me to sherba him through Vault of Glass, message me on Twitter.
That's still what?
Don't worry.